Birds fans. I have had enough. Heads have to roll. The proverbial heads, YouTube. Okay, I'm not calling for anything crazy. We've got to talk about some of Kevin Patullo's post-game comments because this is getting ridiculous to the point where I listen to this stuff. I look at these plays out there and I think a couple of things. One, Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo shouldn't be anywhere near Pop Warner football. And yet here they are. Here they are running the offense for the defending Super Bowl champs. Number two, not only is Jalen Hurts a better quarterback than what the media is telling us, the man might be a serious MVP candidate when you actually dig into the offense and look at all the success that the Eagles have had, despite Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni actually scheming to help the opponent. This is absolutely wild. But listen to this. We're going to start off with this. We got to talk about some of these quotes we're going to break down. I went over a couple of play calls from the second half last game. I got another one that I'm going to show you, and you'll just see how absolutely ridiculous this is to expect this offense to do anything as long as these clowns are calling plays.
Looks, sometimes it looked like you were running into unfavorable looks. Is that fair? Or
I mean, there was a couple plays where we were just running to run it, right? And so we got to do a good job of making sure we put everybody in the best position to do what they need to do, and then we have to execute that play once we get those called. So, some runs are, hey, we're running it no matter what. Some other things have some options off it. Just depends on how the play goes in.
It gets worse. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. And hope you're having a fantastic New Year, New Year's Eve, holiday season, all that great stuff. Let's dig into a little more of what's going on because this man says a whole lot of words without saying anything. And just like what I just played you, sometimes he gets himself in trouble because, man, being the offensive coordinator of a talented offense that is struggling and saying, hey, sometimes we run the ball just to run the ball. Yeah, that's not the win that you may think it is. So let's get into this play clock stuff because we all know that's a big problem with these Philadelphia Eagles this season, getting to the line late, so not being able to read the defense, not being able to make adjustments for Jalen Hurts and so forth, always snapping at one or even zero, which of course allows the defense to not worry about the count and a hard count and all that stuff and just going when the clock runs down. So this is Jeff McClain was asking these questions. So you asked some good ones. It was good to finally see someone ask some stuff like this at Kevin Patullo. In terms of the play clock, it seemed in the first half you guys were getting plays in. They were getting to the line quicker. The second half, not so much. Was that by design? No, I wouldn't say that was designed at all. I think it might have just happened that way. Then what has been the issue in getting him to the line quickly? As far as, really, Kevin, as far as, anyway. I mean, a lot of the plays, the snaps are going off at the clock, which is what I was just saying. I think we've all seen that. Assume that's because he's getting to the line too late, or now you shouldn't say him. I'll give you what I think it is, but let's. I don't have video of this. Sorry about that. I just have the written quotes. When you look at that, I don't think it has really anything to do with getting to the line too late. Kevin, they get to the line too late. We can see it on film, man. You're gaslighting us. Anyway, I know we get out of the huddle for the most part. The guys get out at a decent pace. And so it's just a matter of just orchestrating what we have within each play, whether it's a motion to shift, if there's a couple plays in one, if there's something we're looking for, if we're trying to ID stuff. Knock on wood. Fortunately, we have not had delay of games. We've got to continue to do well in that area. I think as far as that, there's a piece of it. Then sometimes we're able to do different things on the ball, and that picks up the pace, obviously, too. Does this make sense to any of you? By the way, the fact that he thinks they're doing well with this because they haven't gotten delay of games means it's not going to get fixed. Kevin, having to rush a play to get it off at zero is not doing well with it just because you're not having a delay of game. Sirianni has said he wants to improve the operation, that there have been a few instances where it had been better, but what can you guys to improve that? What have been the issues? The biggest thing as far as it goes in practice, when we're in practice mode and we're trying to stress getting to the line of scrimmage, once we break the huddle, we've got to get to the line of scrimmage and do a good job of getting our cleats in the ground and getting set. Like I said, if there's a motion, we've got to get it going with some pace and see it. Then it's all about just how much do we need to see prior to the snap? Are we trying to look for something? Are we trying to set something up? We have to re-ID, repoint, make a change. It's just putting that all into action, playing with pace, playing with speed, and actually a lot of it too is getting back into the huddle from the previous play. That's a big piece of it too. I think it's just all one, just constantly working through those kinds of things. So at the end there, he was blaming the receivers, by the way, if you didn't get that, getting back into the huddle from the previous play. Um, all these things that he's talking about are things all offenses do. Every team in the NFL. It's a thing the Eagles had no problem with last year. It is an issue this year with Kevin Patullo. So obviously there's something in there. And here's my guess. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I think it's twofold. I think one, Kevin does not have play sequences. He doesn't know what's coming next, and so there's a delay because I watch the huddles because of what's been going on trying to figure this out, and I don't see anything from Jalen in terms of wasting time in the huddle, not getting it across to the players, and being in the huddle too long and breaking too late and all that stuff, which means he's not that first bit of time. Kevin's not giving him the play right away. So you've got either Kevin is doesn't know what the play is going to be, so there's a little delay because as soon as the play before ends, he's trying to figure it out. And or it can be a combination of this also, which makes it even worse. I think there are at plenty of times where he's got to wait on Nick Sirianni to give either input on at least a breaking it down into a specific grouping of plays, whether it's short pass, whatever it might be. And so he's got to, or he has to get approval for his play from Nick, whatever it is, in the communication with Nick and Kevin as to what is next. There is the delay there, which is costing this team every single play. Now he's talking specifically about the second half. We're still going through the tape. I have some video we're going to walk through real quick. Still going through the tape as we speak. But really, when you look at it, the amount of drives and starting positions, it was the first down thing. Again, we had 4 drives with inefficient plays and put us in 4 second and longs, and from there 3 third and longs. And when that's happening, it's going to be very hard to move the ball. Kevin, you're. This is so bizarre, man. You're using as an excuse your job, like, and using it in a way like it's something out of your control and separate from what you are supposed to do. Oh, well, somehow we're just magically in second and third and long, and that's causing problems. Well, yeah, your play calling is putting them in second and third and long in the second half. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I don't have the number right in front of me. I think we had 6 possessions. 5 of those 6 possessions we ran it on first down, ran it again on second down, and then we were in third and long because we averaged 3.2 yards per rush. We against a very bad rushing defense. So we were constantly in second and third and long, and that was because of you, Kevin, because of your play calling. And then finally this, and then I'm gonna break a couple of things down for you. So we are gonna get to some video. So appreciate the patience on that second half game. When you look at those drives, it gets frustrating because we need one play. All we need is one play, one spark to get things going, and we're out of it. There was one drive we were very close. It's not one person, one thing, one call. We got to look at everything. So this kind of goes back. You know what this reminded me of when Nick was, and not just recently, but this has kind of been Nick in general. The play calling doesn't matter, right? We're going to be very basic and doesn't matter if it's easy to cover. And we're just going to be so talented that we're going to win on those plays. And that's kind of what we got here. Kevin's going to call crappy plays, but we hope we have a magician in a Jalen Hurts or a Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, whatever it is, AJ Brown. They're just going to magically bail out the bad play calling. Oh, man. So let's get to a little bit of film. I showed you this one before, but I have it here and I didn't want to show it because I have another one that Emmanuel Acho actually used. So I'm going to show a clip of him breaking it down that's maybe even worse than this, but it by showing you more than one, it gives you an idea that this is the pattern because they're both second half. Okay. So we have this, and I've shown you this before. This is where we send the one receiver, and I think I had said AJ Brown when I broke this down before. I think that's Devontae Smith. I can't see a number. I'm pretty sure that's Devontae top of the screen, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do play action, which is great. I'd love to see him in the huddle and play action. But as you can see, Devontae's going out by himself. And then when you see the safety in, right? So we've got the corner underneath, the safety over the top. There's no place to go. Now, maybe if we ran a quick out here, that's what we can hit, but that was not the route. Now, finally, you've got Goddard drifting out to the right. He doesn't really put much effort into this. There's no place to go with him. Saquon Barkley is going to slide past the offensive line and then just stand there with the linebacker, as you'll see here in a second. So completely covered. He turns around right at the linebacker. Dallas Goddard turns body out, and Jalen has no place to go. So here's one of those 0 for 7s is Jalen Hurts having to throw the ball away to save for another down because the play calling was terrible. And then we have this, and I'm going to let Acho go through with this since we've got the clip because this is just one play. So this is only
In
about
what
a minute long, and this is terrible too,
in
guys.
what world, from a route concept perspective, should we have 3 receivers
Look at
within
this.
5 yards of
That's
each other?
insane.
We got man. Bills aren't scared of the Eagles receivers. Man, man, man. It's what we call 2-man. Everybody's in man across the board with 2 high safeties. We call this 2-man. Real simple. Here's my thing with this concept. In what world, from a route concept perspective, should we have 3 receivers within 5 yards of each other? Like, what kind of play design is this? If Jalen does try to lead A.J. Brown, based on this route concept, this defender could come off of his man and just go pick the ball off. When you have 3 receivers within a 7-yard radius of each other, this player, quite literally, this defender could literally guard AJ and the other 2 receivers. That's why route concepts are all about spacing. Where the hell is the spacing on this play? It's what I mean when I say Kevin Patullo makes Jalen Hurts look bad.
There it is. Thank you, Acho. Look, man, this is one of those guys, and this is why I pay attention because we can have different opinions when it's legitimate disagreements. He drives me absolutely crazy sometimes with some of his opinions, and other times the man flat out nails it. So I'm going to pay attention to him. If we disagree, we disagree, but he nails it here. And this reminds me earlier in the season we talked about it because it's the same type of thing. You see a lot of times where the Eagles run 3 hitches, right? Left, right, and center. They send 3 guys out, 5, 6, 7 yards, all the same distance, and they all turn around. And it does a lot of things. One, no spacing in terms of levels to put any pressure on the defense, finding holes and so forth, making defenders make decisions. And then on top of that, it doesn't work within a progression for Jalen Hurts. When he looks at receiver 1, receiver 2, option 2 should be running a route that when Jalen looks at 1, sees it's not there, he can turn to 2, and they're making their break or whatever it is in the terms of the timing of the play. But if they're all running out 5 or 6 yards and sitting down, they've all done it at the same time. So if you don't have 1, going to 2 or 3 does nothing because they've been standing around. They're easy to cover. One other thing that's a problem, and here we go back to play calling too. We get to the line late. Watch these offensive linemen, and the question is, what is going on? I've never seen anything like this. There's so much communication from. Look at all of them. All, 1, 2, 3, what 4, what 5? Why are so many different offensive linemen at the beginning of a play communicating? They actually made that catch, but that was short because once again they were in 3rd and long. And then I do want to finish up with something positive. Okay, we're going to finish with something positive, and for Jalen Hurts, we're going to show you 4 plays because here's what's wild. And I got another video. I didn't want to make this too long. It's already kind of long, but I'm going to do one tomorrow. I had internet issues today. I haven't been online all day, but I want to break down that second half of Jalen Hurts. And maybe you've seen stuff already, but I think it's worth doing because that 0 for 7 is certainly not on him. But and this is a great example when people say that 0 for 7. Well, let's look at the first half. Okay, let's look at some of these things that Jalen Hurts was able to do. And I think this is this actually wasn't even complete, but this is a great ball. You got to catch this. That's got to be caught, and you drag your feet. That was Dotson. Now, could you maybe turn him up the field? Maybe Jalen throws it slightly earlier, but overall, that is a play that should have been completed. We've got I think I can't remember if this was AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, but I've got them both, and this is a great view. I think this might be the Devontae Smith one first, right? But this is he looks, sets, fires. That is tight windows, folks. We keep hearing how Jalen can't throw in tight windows. He sees it, he fires on time, fits it into a tight window, completed pass. We're moving the sticks. And then we've got this might be the AJ Brown one, I think now, which is absolutely phenomenal. And of course, it starts with Jalen Hurts making a play. Jalen Hurts made multiple big time plays and throws. Look at his pocket presence. He's got his feet, he's on his toes, his feet are moving, and boom, he gets out. And again, tight, that's phenomenal. Tight window, great look, keeps it alive in here, rolls out of the pocket, makes a perfect throw to AJ Brown. This is the guy they keep telling us can't fit it into tight windows, you know, hating on him for the 0 for 7 in the second half, which was 100% on the play call. And then we had this, and I'm going to break this down tomorrow with some more angles because it's important. But again, and here's another one that unfortunately is incomplete. But again, this is an absolutely perfect throw. This is dropping a dime, perfect throw by Jalen Hurts over the top, tight window. AJ Brown drops it. Now, he tried to catch it one hand, but it was such a good pass and it was so soft. He should have been able to catch it one hand, and they absolutely missed the pass interference. But again, Jalen Hurts, and there were a couple others. He made a big time throw to Devontae Smith that Devontae caught, and then they overruled it and said it was incomplete. It was not. He caught it. He made another big time throw in the second half to Devontae Smith that went right through his hands. Jalen Hurts, the more I look at the Eagles offense and break it down, and the more I hear from Kevin Patullo, and we look at these things like the play I showed you and Acho and so on, the more I'm thinking, my God, Jalen Hurts is even better than I thought. Because the fact that this team is sitting at 11-5 with Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni's offense says a whole hell of a lot about the talent of Jalen Hurts and the other offensive players around him at the skill positions. The offensive line is another issue. Cam Jurgens has been absolutely terrible this year, but we'll save that for another video as well. Appreciate you checking this out. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate it. If you're seeing this New Year's Eve, I'm not sure if I'll get it out because the internet's been wonky, maybe on New Year's, but whatever, enjoy the holiday. I will talk to you later.